Go ahead and get all my things in order here. Just chilling on a Monday. Yep. Just go ahead and get everything here in order. Oh, hello. Fancy meeting you here. I wasn't expecting company. Did I use that one already on Friday? Thinking maybe I did. Starting to recycle my material. That's no bueno. Aaron Glenn, help me out. What do you know? I'm not the New York Jets.
And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game. Good news. Good news.
We are having that combination. Jesus Christ. We can't run.
Yeah.
Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, guys. Yeah. That is good news. I'll be honest. That is good news.
We are back.
That is good news. I'll be honest. That is good news.
Back in the neighborhood.
Every day in my hood, I bang. I'm a nice worker.
Hello, and welcome to Good News Travel Fast. I am your host, Oren Lamena. Do it. Give me what's mine. Praise and thank you. I did this for you. Goddamn right I did. Goddamn right I did. And you did it. You suffered through a whole weekend, at least a Sunday evening, knowing now that your nemesis, the Kansas City Chiefs, would once again be in the Super Bowl going against the tush pushers, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City God diggity damn Chiefs. How's that make you feel, Bronco fan? You happy for it? You mad about it? Do you just love football and you're just like, oh, I just want to see a good game? Or are you bitter? Are you bitter? Be honest. When I ask these questions, I expect honesty in return. I don't need you to put your best foot forward. If you're a bitterman and you just hate to see, like, if their house burns down, it just makes your house that's on fire feel better. There's no problem with that. Yo. Long as I live, large life will be luxury. There goes my boy fishing.
Every day in my hood, I bang. I'm a nice worker.
Go ahead and get rid of that. Two best teams are playing. Oh, well. Are these the two best teams? I guess if they made it this far, that's what one would have to assume. Okay, I just want to do something. I want to get something out of the way. This is how we're going to take this show. This is how we're going to do this show. Not you, Magic Johnson. Not yet. Not you yet, Magic Johnson. This is how we're going to do this show, y'all. Yeah, hey, y'all. This is how we're going to take care of this. This is how we're going to do this show, y'all. Just like that. Get that out. And take the dome piece. How you guys feel about that? Okay. You don't feel good about that one? Maybe we'll do the show like maybe we're gonna do the show like this. Flip. Got your arm. Ah. What do you think? We can do it like that? Fishing? Anyone? Okay. Not that one. We're gonna do this show like this then. This is how we're gonna take this motherfucker.
You got this.
You got this.
You got this.
You got this.
Drop
Ready?
it.
Drop it in kickballs. Tread. Yes, like this. This is how we're doing this Monday. This is how you do Monday morning. Horns. You took about the horns. You were like, you got this. You got this.
Drop it.
Drop it in. I don't care if you can't see it. I don't care if just I don't care. Just be hearing it. Just do it. I don't have a hangover. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. Got it. Love it. Okay. You have the proper motivation? Do you all feel motivated enough? Have I done enough to motivate you? Give me the judo fighter over any martial arts. Yeah. Grab a hold of someone's lapel. Judo is I think it's probably of the martial arts, besides Aikido, probably the most lethal. I mean, I know Muay Thai and all those things can look really sweet, but judo is just about get over here and just tossing, just ragdolling sons of bitches. Just yank. Very strong hands and throws, hips, playing with balance, using someone's momentum against them. That's how we're going to do this show. Okay. Good. So before we move on from the Super Bowl, don't need to spend a lot of time there. We got a whole 2 weeks before it. Did you feel like maybe the fix was in? And it's okay if you didn't. It's all right if you didn't. It's okay if I'm by myself. This guy said I was able to make this in 30 seconds, and the guys upstairs in New York with their millions of dollars of equipment couldn't get to this. Nice to know. Referees continue to make the game unenjoyable to watch. Fix this. Felt like a first down. Felt like a first down, and feels like Roger Goodell and company have sights on another Tom Brady like happening. Is it me? I don't want to spend a lot of time here because we can be talking about the Nuggets because I want to be talking about Nuggets trades, to be honest with you. I don't want to spend a lot of time here, but I really did want to get this out of the way. Did you have a problem with that particular call or the way that the game ended last night? And I'm just going to leave that out there. I had a problem with that play. At the end of the game, I didn't really understand what they were saying, what the last flag could have been. Unless it was roughing the passer, which he was already in the arms of the defender when they planted him. And then the ball fell short. The receiver had a chance at it. I didn't understand what the call was, what the call could have been. They threw a flag and then they picked it up. And I was like, it looked like it should have been picked up because I didn't see it. But that fourth down that they didn't give to Josh, I thought he did more than enough for that call to be overturned. And when you see the side judge run in, I'm not going to run it because I don't know. I know the NFL is pretty stringent with their proprietary things, but it just kind of felt like the line judge, the near line judge, runs in and he's looking at the other guy. Like other guys running parallel, and it looked like, okay, that's going to be at least measurable. He ran in like at least a good half yard behind him, and I'm like, oh, for real? To where the other guy seemed like he's kind of like, you're making it look bad. Because did anybody? Okay, let's be honest. Did anybody want to see Buffalo, Philadelphia in the Super Bowl? What's a better story? Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl or Josh Allen and whomever? Like, be honest. The MAHOMES thing, You still don't get it, do you? You still think this shit is real. You just don't get it.
Think of that trick, how they pulled it off, purely based on they wouldn't do that. How many times you got to see they would do that before you get it? They would do that, and they did do that, and they're doing it now. And I understand if you're a little cow that wants to believe in it, but grow the fuck up. Just be honest. Look at the thing in front of you.
Just look at the thing in front of you. Hold on. Let me show you. Just look at the thing in front of you. There's he. There's the ball. There's the line. It's the and this. Paul Schaefer hit this right on the head. For sure. For fucking sure. The game is extended if that's Patrick Mahomes in the arms of the defender. In the arms of an angel defender. Judo right now. Wait, judo not know? Judo not know? Oh, judo not know. Good. Good, Paul. Hold on. Damn it. I got to get these buttons right. Here we go. Good job, Paul. Judo not know. I got right there. You could have put the O in there. Made it a little easier on me. I'm not going to hold that against you, Paul. I'm not upset with you. Don't be upset with me. Josh Giddey, by the way, Nuggets in Chicago. I'll be around for 5 to go when it gets to the fourth quarter. Nuggets are in Chicago, currently leading at the half, playing great basketball against a team that you should whoop on. On a team that you should whoop on. And as long as they handle their business, but as long as they handle their business, we should be looking at another Vic. Judo no. Okay. Yes, the fix is in. I feel so. I just feel like it's a better storyline. I feel like the NFL has taken a cue from WWE, and they understand wholeheartedly that stories sell better than what some fan base wants. Sorry, it's science. I traveled from New Jersey to Hawaii before I was 12 years old in judo. Really? What up? What belt? Brown? Purple? I had no problem with the Xavier Worthy catch that hit the field. Nah. Mahomes would have gotten a rough in the passer on the last play. I agree. Absolutely. These playoffs have been probably worse than I have seen from the refs favoring certain team. Terrible. You got to think back to the play from the previous game where, you know, he gets the roughing and he's sliding. He tells the guy, good hit, bud. He tells the defender, good hit. It's just kind of obvious. I think that storylines play. Excuse me. And the rest of it is just kind of like, My tinfoil hat says the NFL, too much money to lose if Swifties do not tune in the Super Bowl. Agreed with that. They need another dynasty that's a powerful combination to try. Yeah, because parity doesn't, as much as we think like we like parity, for some odd reason, it feels like the NFL doesn't. We like parity, and they're like, what's fairness? We like storylines. And it just felt like this was Kansas City's year. All the way throughout the year, what we've seen has been consistent. They get the benefit of, they get that Jordan Rule whistle in KC. Non-catch by Worthy. Best story would have been a rookie QB in the Super Bowl. I thought that Jaden Daniels and DC would have been I thought that would have been a great story. Plus, he's just exciting to watch. But what up, Andon?
Meaning good.
driven the QB into the ground. And he put me in the ground. Buffalo would have been better. But I fully acknowledge that the sport is fixed and rigged. It's just a shame it was that bad and obvious, as Timothy Rimothy's in the building. Hello, Timothy Rimothy.
Every day in my hood, I bang. I'm a nice worker.
I understand, Paul Schaefer. I do not know. You don't know. Sup, fishing? KC was 15-2. Why are people acting like they weren't good? And one of those loses. Wait. Why are people acting like they weren't good? And one of those losses was to the Broncos when they played second stringers. It's not about how good KC was. It was about how how bad the officials have been, and blatant at it too. KC almost went undefeated this year. Yes, they did. Almost only worked in horseshoes and these grenades. Nah, Paul Schaefer thinks that's funny. There's new teams every year in the playoffs. In the playoffs, yes. We're talking about the championship. KC has just the better team and coaching. Blah, 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 blah. Eagles had one of the best defenses all year. I don't have a problem with the Eagles being there. Saquon Barkley, I'm so happy for him to be actually getting a shot at it after toiling away in god-awful New York. They and Barkley and AJ and Devontae, second best team to play. I think that this will actually be a really good Super Bowl. I think the Eagles have more than a puncher's chance to right the wrong. What is this? A rematch of Super Bowl 57 or 58? They got a chance to get their revenge, and it looks like it'll be a really good game. I'm just saying that I don't think it's any question that there were more than to say that the calls were questionable, to say that it was questionable on the KC side, not just all season, but definitely in the playoffs. I just think you're not wanting to see it, fishing. You don't want to see it. And that's fine. You don't have to. Moving on. So, Nuggets fan, by the way, let's take a look at the boys. Currently up 10 in Chicago. I might just go all the way through. I mean, does it make any sense to stop? I got to be careful with that shit. I think I pissed my boy off. I don't want to do that. I love Mac. But it just doesn't make any sense to do this and then stop. And you know what I mean? We'll see how it goes. Right now, it's 10-14 left in the third. So, Nuggets up 10 on the Bulls. Here's a number that I'd love to run by you, Nuggets fan. Hold on. Get that out of here. Hold on. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Super Bowl will be the most hate-watched Super Bowl of all time. Oh, my God. With Kendrick at halftime and all of Drake fan that's not trying to follow him to Australia, hate-watching, yes. But everyone will watch. I think this is going to be a great Super Bowl with a great halftime show. I mean, it's all set up to be either a complete disaster, just because, it's like New Orleans. Does Lil Wayne run out on the field and tackle Kendrick or tackle these Kendrick's, surprise guests like, shut up and me, just judo chop SZA right in the throat. Does young Weezy F Baby come out and does he skateboard out off of a half pipe, catch sick air, drop thunder leg like Hulk Hogan, super leg on Kendrick, and then just judo chop SZA right in the throat like, it should have been me. It should have been him and Skip Bayless. It should have been me. Could happen. Tom Brady got the calls for 20 years, and years I see and know it. Winners get the calls, just how it is. That's not how it should be, though. Calls should go where they belong, not to the winners. And if the winners deserve the calls, then the winners should get the calls. But if the losers deserve the call. The losers should get the call, because that means you're predetermining winners from losers, meaning that what we're watching is WWE wrestling, and no one wants to see that unless they play that. Whose music is it? Is it The Rock's music, or is that Stone Cold Steve Austin's music? When something shatters, like, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds more like the glass right there, and it's like, and then it's like, oh my God, here comes young Weezy, and Weezy's coming running down the tunnel, and he's got Baby with him, and Baby's like, three of y'all, put some respect on young Weezy and Baby's name, and it's like, here comes Drake, and then Drake comes out. Oh. If you're gonna go WWF, isn't it best to just do it all the way? So Drake, check this out, y'all. Drake comes out at halftime. He crashes the halftime party, only to get put through a flaming table by SZA. What? Tell me that shit wouldn't be live. Wire to wire. NFL knows everyone will tune in just to see if the Chiefs three-peat. That's pretty much, they've locked that in. Why are Nuggets lose to the Wolves? Yeah, we're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about, because you see Jimmy Butler, Nuggets have allowed the Bulls to pull within 2 points. Seems about right. Mike Malone calls timeout. He's just like, diggity dog, damn it. Y'all could fuck up a wet dream. So Jimmy Butler got suspended. And, the whole Val Nichushkin trade for the Avs got me thinking, should the Nuggets need to just say F it and pull a trade off that maybe we all might not like initially, but just to shake things up? Because that loss to Minnesota, to be quite honest with you, was the Nuggets are good enough to beat the bad teams. I don't know how good they are against the good teams. And if you're not really in it, like if you can tell that you don't measure up with the best in the West, what's the point in going through the season? I feel like if you're not going to really throw a genuine shot at it. I mean, Miko Rantanen. Thank you, Fishing. I said Val, didn't I? Miko. If you're not really geared up, like if you don't really feel like you got a shot at it, don't you kind of owe it to yourselves to just throw caution to the wind? And let's say if you were able to package up Michael Porter Jr., you'd have to get a bunch of expiring contracts, or you'd have to get a bunch of soon to expire contracts. And I don't even know if Miami would do this. Could you package up? I can hear Fishing now. Pull up Spot Rack. If you could package up Michael Porter Jr., Zeke Naji, the 2030 pick. Is it 30 or 31? The 2030 pick. You think we could get Jimmy Butler here? Do you think that'd be enough to get Jimmy Butler here? Because we take on that salary. We take on that 50. And you know what I mean? Spot Rack now. Fuck you, Fishing. Not capitals. You will not yell at me. You will not raise your voice at me. This is not what we're doing. This is not what we're going to establish on a Monday. You don't raise your voice. You don't talk to me that way. Y'all not say that. What movie is that from? Y'all not say that. I think it's kind of like, even with them playing the Bulls tonight, and I'm like, or I think Michael Porter Jr. is the only piece that I'm really willing to see them part ways with. And his play, quite honestly, it's just been very Michael Porter Jr. like. He's there, he's around, he's just inconsistent. And by now, I think that's one thing that should have been gotten past. It's just what can we expect from you on a night in and night out basis? And I think his specialized sort of style of play, where I'm the 3-point guy, just leaves him not playing a complete game of basketball constantly. Right now, he's trying to take Josh Giddey down low. And I just think that maybe it's worth. Maybe Michael Porter Jr. is not worth waiting on. Maybe he's not worth waiting on. If they could get a real shot at a championship run, I wouldn't mind it now. I wouldn't mind getting rid of him. I wouldn't mind it. It depends on, like, now the question is, what about Zach LaVine? Would a Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball kind of deal with that? I mean, there's no reason to believe that the Bulls would part with both of them, although I'm not sure why they wouldn't at this point, because it's not working. What they have is not it. And they're heading towards, they're on their way towards, at least a high draft pick. You brought Josh Giddey in, they got Giddey there. They got young guys there. I'm starting to think that maybe it's, it's just might be worth it, because it's not the game against these guys. I think they'll beat this Bulls teams. What we've seen in, now, granted, Joker did not play against Boston, right? So Joker didn't play against Boston, but for the most part, we just haven't matched up good against the good teams. He didn't play OKC, or was it Houston? By the way, the Bulls have shot how many threes now? The Bulls have thrown up 32 threes. The Nuggets, 13. The Nuggets are 3 of 13 from 3. They've scored a ton of points in the paint. The Minnesota game left a bad taste in my mouth too, Andon. It left a bad taste in my mouth. And by the way, Fishing, don't talk to me that way. Don't. Do not. I'm not going to have this conversation with you. I'm not even going to look up at the camera. I'm just not going to look up there. I'm going to trust that you're picking up my vibe. Don't talk to me like that. Y'all not talk to me that way. Y'all not say that. Players look scared to hit Mahomes. Wouldn't you be? Isn't that what do they call it? A chilling effect? Once if you come anywhere near a guy, you're gonna get you might be penalizing your squad. You know what I'm saying? The NFL isn't a court of law. Rules are subjective, and next season you'll see the NHL going to an instant replay in the booth for almost every play, just like in college. We know it's not a court of law, smartass. You're not making a case for improprieties where fairness is, I should say, concerned, Fishing. We know it's not a court of law. Everything definitely goes down like a court of law, though. It's like if fairness were a black man. Okay. I'm going to leave it alone. We're not doing that. That was Friday's show. Bah, God, Drake with the chair. Yes. He'd nearly break Kendrick in half. No. Okay, so yeah, Drake comes down. He's got the chair. He takes the chair because Kendrick's not paying attention. He's marching with the band. He's not paying attention. Chair to the back. Right. So he goes down, and then it's the thing where he's like crawling, and you're like, get up, Kendrick, get up. And he won't get up. But here comes SZA off the top rope, takes Drake out, and then climbs up the cage. You'd have to have a cage drop in this scenario. Climbs up the cage with Drake over her shoulder after setting up a flaming table, takes him down, bam, through a flaming table. That is how you run a Super Bowl halftime. And in G, you're thinking right, in my humble opinion. Why are nugs? I'm still putting my eyeballs back in the face after gouging them out Saturday. Yeah. It was bad. Drake gets smacked by Chris Rock. Oh, hell yeah. Chris Rock's revenge. Don't we have to bring out Will Smith in order to complete the revenge, though? So you're saying Chris Rock shows up. So then that means Will Smith would have to come out in defense of Drake, which is fine. So Will Smith comes out in defense of Drake because he's just gotten put through a flaming table. Will Smith comes out and he Like, you know how they do that thing when they bend the guy over the turnbuckle? Whoa, pause. But back like this. So he bends SZA back over the turnbuckle. Whoa, pause. And does that smack that they usually across her chest, and she can't pause. And she can't bear it. So she falls to her knees. And then here comes Chris Rock. And he's just standing behind. He's standing behind. Yeah, in that way that, you know, Will Smith doesn't know that he's behind him, but the crowd is reacting to it. And they're like, oh my God, behind you. And he's like, what? What? And he turns around and Chris Rock's like this. Oh, but Chris Rock goes like this. Slap. My heart goes out to you. Slap. SZA, my heart goes out to you. Slap. That is how halftime gets done. Not NHL. I meant NFL. See, we both made mistakes. It's Mr. Spot Rock now. We've seen NFL officials consistently making calls favorable to KC. Yes, exactly. NFL fans are right to ask if the NFL is rigging games through their officiating crews. I think it's only fair. You know what would cure that? Don't you think it's about time that NFL officials should have to have post-game press conferences and answer for themselves? I am nothing if not the great idea man. I am the great idea man. This team is already dysfunctional. They don't need the mess Butler brings. I think he would be in a much better place. Apparently, the story is he came back from suspension. Then he was told he wouldn't be starting. He acted like a baby and was like, well, then I'm leaving practice. And he left practice. And then they were like, oh, yeah, well, why don't you just leave for good? Why don't you just go? And he's like, fine. They're like, fine. And he's like, fine. They're like, fine. He's like, fine. They're like, fine. Now he's done. Indefinitely suspended. And by the way, I would take his type of dysfunction. I mean, okay. Is he any worse than, let's say, Jamal Murray? We've been told MPJ is going to bloom for years. Never seems to happen. That's how I feel. Dead meat in the house.
Every day in my hood, I bang. I'm a nice worker.
And it's enough already. I think we're all in the same place where it's like, okay, if you're going to see it out of him, I think we would have seen it. We've seen the flashes, but I just don't see, he doesn't have a game. I know he's not the most accomplished ball handler, but he just doesn't have a game. You know what I mean? Oh my God. You know, sometimes Peyton Watson is, and I don't mean good. I don't mean good. He's just so sometimes, okay, it's just a throw the ball around type of game right now. 88-82 Nuggets with 2 minutes and some odd seconds left in the third quarter. I might just be going all the way through. Let me see if DMAC has texted me. Then I'll know. It's 9:33. Well, 9:33 my time, 7:33 y'all's time. I'm just having so much fun with my internet friends. Would you include Christian Brown in that trade? Christian Brown is your most valuable asset right now. I would hate to trade him, but he would get the most bang for your buck. Is that true, Timothy 90? He's our most valuable. I would say he and Michael Porter Jr. are one and the same, to be quite honest with you. Christian Brown, for all that it's worth, is another guy with the game. It's a little, what would you say your game is? Not what would you say you do here? What's your game? You know what I'm saying? I know Christian Brown's a get in the open floor, catch it. He's kind of one, jump off 1 foot guy. It's just not a lot of facets to his game. And his jumper's really not all that consistent. You see the upside, like, oh, if he worked on and developed and now the Nuggets are down 2 points to the Lowly Bulls. Telling you, might be trade time. This is a team that does not value possessions. They do not play defense, a consistent brand of defense. They just seem like a team that is like, even like watching, let's say Aaron Gordon, for instance, like there's just this laissez-faire kind of approach to the game. Another missed bunny. There's just this kind of, I don't know. It's just not, there's an intensity lacking. And I think the one thing that the Miko trade did was, I think it just kind of shakes things up, and it just lets guys know, like, wake up. What the hell are y'all doing? Media critics in the house. That's much better fishing. I'll pull it up. Give me a second. What did Butler do to get suspended? He is 35. Well, Paul Schaefer, you of not the Tonight Show, Late Night with David Letterman band. Let me help you. Apparently, he was told that he'd be coming off the bench, and that sat none too well with him. He decided to walk out of practice and didn't understand that Pat Riley don't play that. And Pat was like, oh, you think that fat meat ain't greasy. Oh, you think fat meat ain't greasy. How about you sit the next rest of the season out, bruh? And now we're here. And I'm like, well, that's broken. That relationship is shattered. There's no putting that toothpaste back in the tube. So now it's like, I personally think that Jimmy Butler, and adding Jimmy Butler, I would be willing to part with Aaron Gordon to add Jimmy Butler to this mix, because they're one and the same player, and I think Jimmy Butler has more left in the tank in certain regards offensively than Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon has just got this, I know he's coming back from injury, but there's this half step to his game. Thank God for Nikola Jokic. There's this half step to Aaron Gordon's game that sometimes I find it as just as frustrating as watching Jamal Murray. It's just this lack of intensity. I know he's a big dude, he lumbers, you know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know, man. Just put him in a cage match. I'm getting that spot rack. Cage match. Yeah. Dead meat's in the house.
Every day in my hood, I bang. I'm a nice worker.
Drake and Will Smith versus Kendrick and Chris the Rock. What? As long as Stone Cold Steve Austin can make it an appearance. What? Yes, sir, Joker. Act like a big man. Act like a big man. I still can't believe Will Smith walked on stage and smacked Chris Rock on live TV and went back to his seat. And that everyone sat there and cheered him then. Like, when he went to go get his award, like, he didn't just assault that guy. And was allowed to. Crazy. Ooh, celebrity death match. We fight. We go into the bear pit. I guess I'm the minority. I can't stand Drake or Kendrick. What? Drake? Okay. It's okay to can't stand Drake, but Kendrick? What? I actually can't stand most of these modern day rappers in dresses. Fair. They suck at ChatGPT writes their shit. Best rappers on YouTube. Okay. I'm like, you ain't gonna get an argument out of me. Many of them are in dresses. Yes. Playboy Cardi comes to mind. And many of their music sucks. Many of their music sucks. The guys doing their own shit. Exactly. Agreed. Female rappers are good. Paul Schaefer, let me ask you this. If you're a record exec and I, as an A&R, I bring in a young rapper. She's from, let's say, St. Louis. And you're like, give me one of your best lyrics. And she says, and I quote, "My pussy pink, my booty hole brown." What do you do, Paul Schaefer? What do you do? What do you tell her? She plays one of her lyrics for you, and it's "My wop pink, my booty hole brown." What do you do? Where do you go with that? Where do you go from there? There's not much. She's got, now that young lady's got a song with Bruno Mars out, and once again, There's a lot of talk of the WAP. NFL officiating is dog shit. Damn it. God, my buttons.
No violence, no violence, no violence, no violence. No violence.
That'll have to do. Butler is always a good guy for a year and a half. I think what you're dealing with Jimmy Butler is, yes, a very temperamental guy, but I think you're dealing with a guy who, well, he's handled this one all completely wrong because you're still under contract. So just coming back and figuring like, I want to renegotiate. That's not how contracts work. And if the team says, yeah, no, we're not going to renegotiate, then you should act like a professional and just take it. Having said that, I think what he's trying to leverage is, you guys haven't done a lot to put a lot around me, although I think that Miami team is built about as good as it can be with him there because they're paying you $50 million, bro. So yeah, I think he can be temperamental, but let's be honest. Once again, if you're going to take temperamental stars and you already have one here who can't put up what what Jimmy Butler can put up, what Jimmy Buckets can put up, wouldn't you rather just roll the dice on just winning a championship? You have BetMGM logos all over NFL stadiums, and people are wondering, exactly, Minimalist Monka.
You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about.
You and I both know what we're talking about. They're telling you without telling you.
Think of that trick, how they pulled it off, purely based on they wouldn't do that. How many times you got to see they would do that before you get it? They would do that, and they did do that, and they're doing it now. And I understand if you're a little cow that wants to believe in it, but grow the fuck up. Just be honest. Look at the thing in front of you.
You feel me? Andon says, currently Murray 11 points, CB 19 points. I can't stop being critical of Murray. This is BS. You're not getting it's just not a lot of fire there. It's the way he plays the game. It's the way that he and Aaron Gordon both, and he's 5 of 16, 1 of 4 from 3. It's like at some point in time, if he is your second best player, that's what we're constantly being told. He's this team's second best player. Jamal Murray is the team's second best player. He's this team's second. Well, you don't get a lot out of him defensively, if anything at all. And his offense is cooked. If he can't dribble, he's just a shell of a player. Now the Nuggets find themselves down 3 to the Bulls, the 19-27 Chicago Bulls. You might have to pull a trade off just to shake guys up. Media Critic says, could KSE trade MPJ for a bag of balls? They'd get more than a bag of balls. They might get 2 bags of balls. His game, though, quite honestly, jab step. I've never seen, I know it looks good coming out of his hands, but no one's ever confused him with just the most lethal 3-point threat in NBA history. And so the fact that he just has this green light to just jack it away and not ever really work on any other finer points of his games at 6 foot 10 inches tall, to me is just kind of like, yeah, man, okay, sure. MPJ is shooting over 50%. How much more is needed from him? 18 PPG, 6.5 RPG. More. Hold on. You have BetMGM logos all over NFL stadiums. Yes, these games are rigged and controlled by Vegas. Fishing doesn't believe us, you guys. He's being one of those guys. Is Braun a Jag? You're gonna have to explain what Jag is. Just as good enough. Johnny almost got it. I don't know what Jag is. I'm sorry. I tried. I'm sorry. I don't know. Who would trade for MPJ's contract? It's hard. It's hard because the production's not there. Who are the 5 best podcasters alive? Oren, straight spitting. Come on, Paul Schaefer. The flattery will get you everywhere.
Oren.
Okay, all right.
Zach LaVine has an amazing 12 points. Let's go get that guy. LOL. Fishing, you're very condescending. It's very condescending. It's giving smug. It's giving smug. I like you. I love all you knuckleheads. It's giving smug. Why don't you think about your attitude while I pull up Spot Rack? Not because you told me, because I want to, because I decided to. Guess what, gentlemen? This is what we're going to do. There are 10 minutes, 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Hold on. Let me go through these because I do have to. I'm going to read the rest of your text. I'm going to check the hell out. And then I'm just going to check back in with 5 to go. Somewhere around 5 to go. So I'm just going to let you guys know that. Somewhere around the 5-minute mark, I'm going to end this, and we'll come right back with 5 to go. How's that sound? Good, 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 good. Great, Grant. Butler has walked off every team, and it's not a one-off. It's a habit. This is true. It is a trend. Thanks for saying pussy. You say titty too. No, it's the lyric. That's her lyric, not mine. I'm just quoting the lyric. I find nothing attractive about a woman who thinks she's hard and raps about it. I don't think it's meant to be as attractive. Well, it's attractive to somebody. What color is the? Oh, whoa, Paul. I don't know. You said signer. That girl, I like the cut of her jib. The song WAP sent female rappers back to the Stone Age, without question. I think that's when everyone thought that it was this liberation moment, when it really was like, what are we talking about here? Like, but, you know, innuendo, creativity, just thrown out the window. Let's just get straight to it. Raw dog. You know what I'm saying? We've come a long way from when Spike Lee had to use Mickey Flicky. Charlie Beagle's in the house. Hold on. Charlie Beagle. Welcome to the neighborhood first and foremost. God damn.
Every day in my hood, I bang. I'm a nice worker.
Charlie Beagle. You just earned, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Charlie Beagle. You come through with that. It's a Mickey Ficky. Why is there so many snakes on this Mickey Ficky plane? Orrin, you still got to listen to Bez Believe, please, and tell me what you think. I'm sorry, Fishing. I will do that. I'm sorry. So fix the Mickey Ficky. Charlie Beagle once again.
Every day in my hood, I bang. I'm a nice worker.
Nuggets looked, oh my God, Peyton Watson just blew a dunk. This is prime. You know, what I said was going on this 5-game road trip. This is, at best, you got to come out of this thing with, 4-1, figuring that Minnesota would be the hardest game. Not these guys. No. They can even make the Bulls look good. Nuggets looked horrendous in Minnesota. They're not looking too good in Chicago either. Maybe they don't like the Midwest. I heard the NFL is considered entertainment and not a sport, so they can be sued for fixing it. I think there's something to that. The Bulls are just playing a share the basketball, move the basketball around the edge, out rebound, out hustle the Nuggets brand of basketball right now. This is unbelievable. The Nuggets are down now 106-96 to the Bulls, and they're just getting out hustled in every aspect of the game. I think it might be time for a trade. Correction, the proper equation is Jedi mind tricks. Drake, K. Lamar times Travis Scott. You can have a different opinion, but it's wrong. That's basically Andon saying, argue with your mammy. Just another guy. Oh, okay, Jag. I'll remember that. I'll remember. I promise I'll remember that. Is he just another guy? Yes, he's just another guy. He's just another guy. Oh, just a guy. Look, everybody's so you guys all are up on the lingo and I'm not. Fine. Y'all feel better about yourself that you made me feel bad? Does that make you feel better about yourselves? Okay, here's what we're going to do, gentlemen and ladies, if you're in the house. This would be a perfect place for me to stop down, and then I'm going to come back. I'm coming right back. So for those that are here, I appreciate you coming back with me. For those that choose not to, I'm not mad at that. I can't be mad at you. You have a life. You have things that you do. You have a wife. You have kids. You have a husband. You have a life. You have kids. You have a husband. You have kids, a life, grandmother, job, whatever. I'm not mad at it. Just do me a favor before you check out. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Maybe even share it. Tell a friend. You feel me? You feel me? All right. Good talk. Let me go ahead and do my patented leave because it's patented. And it's pretty much how I leave. I'll be right back.
And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game.
Jesus Christ, we can't run.